Hey guys, Alex here with RPC. Wanted to start a series to help you guys, especially those of you that are new to the shooting world and to the concealed carry world, to help you get up to speed with those, all that lingo, all those terms, all those options that are out there, to help you not only pick the right firearm, but the right holster and the right concealment techniques based on your environment. Now, when it comes to holsters, there's several options out there. You're gonna have just as much as firearms, basically, but you're gonna have plenty of options from the precision of those holsters, the material of those holsters are made. So it's gonna be a little bit of a task for you to go out there and find the right holster that works for you and your preferred method of carrying. So you're gonna have to look at things such as materials. Like for example, Kydex or leather. You're gonna have to look at where you like to carry that holster, right? So there's several positions, like such as appendix carry or 4 o'clock position, 5 o'clock position, small of your back, cross draw, shoulder holsters that you will need to look into, right? So I want to make sure that I give you all the pointers that you need to pick the right holster, because a lot of people think that just picking the right firearm is the most important step towards your concealed carry journey. My friends, I tend to defer. Actually, picking the right holster will make the hell of a difference. And with the right holster, you can conceal a hand cannon if you want to. So it's very important that, again, you pick the right holster for you, the one that works for you, and the method that you choose for concealment. So when it comes to holster positions for carrying, right, you're gonna have several types of holsters. So the way to look at this is you'll have, imagine the face of a clock, right? So for example, 12 o'clock position will always be my front. So 12 o'clock will be my front, 6 o'clock will be my rear. To my right, yes, this right, you're looking at 3 o'clock, and then to my left, you're looking at 9 o'clock, okay? With you as a reference, meaning wherever you're looking at, that's your front, 3, 9, and 6, right? So, and obviously all those positions in between, like if I do this 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and so on, right? So it is very important to understand that some holsters are made for specific positions. Like for example, if you're looking for a holster, and this is my favorite position for carrying, such as a 12 o'clock or a front positional holster, meaning it sits here in your waistline right on the front, also called appendix carry, you will look at things such as this one. So things that to determine here is that, for example, you have things to look for. You have your clamps here that hook up to your belt, and then as you can see here, they hooked, so that way it hooked to the bottom of the belt, preventing the holster from coming up when you pull that gun, right? And then all the things that appendix holsters tend to have is this little thing here called claw. So your claw, what it's designed to do is basically, so once you put a firearm in it, that butt of the firearm, the bottom of the grip, tends to poke right out on your shirt. So what the claw does is actually push back on your belt, and with that being said, it pushed back on that firearm butt. So that helps you conceal a firearm, especially those that are a little bit larger. And this specifically, I think I showed on the video the other day, is for a 911, full-size 5-inch barrel 1911, okay? So this tend to work fantastically. And this is several options out there. Some of them come with what they call the sidecar, which is fantastic. I have one of those, I'll show it to you guys, where like you have your not only your holster for your firearm, but also a magazine carrier attached to it. And it tends to have that flexible point in between. So those holsters, as I mentioned, they will sit right in the frontal position as such, right? There, this is what is called appendix carry, right? My favorite method of carrying, because I feel I don't have to break or throw my hands further or too much further of where my working area means. So I can pull my gun here, push out, do my reloads and all that within this front space instead of having to reach back or sideways for things, right? So that's my preferred method of carrying. Doesn't mean it has to be yours. So when you talk about holsters, it's mostly two main types of them, right? We'll exclude shoulder holsters for now. We'll go back to those. I'll show you a few examples as well. But when you talk about a holster, for most people, what tends to work is an IWB, meaning inside the waistband. What you're talking about when you mean inside the waistband, it means that holster sits inside your pants, inside your waistline, right? So in this case, this one specifically, as I show you, is an inside the waistband holster. Now you also have other models, such as this one right here, which is, in this case has a paddle. This is an OWB, meaning outside the waistband, right? And it's supposed to sit right outside your waistline. So if I have my firearm, it'll be outside of my pants. So think about that. Inside the waistband, meaning inside your pants. Outside the waistband, meaning outside your pants, right? So in this one specifically, this one has a paddle, which makes it a lot easier to just take on and off if you're one of those guys that just likes that comfort. But also you have other models such as this one, also for 1911, which has those belt loops, as you can see. So all you gotta do is weave your belt through it and then put it on your waistband. Upside down, is the downs of it is actually you gotta take your belt off in order to remove it, right? But again, this will be outside the waistband. Now, from outside the waistband, you'll also see all the models such as like small off your back or cross draw holsters and things like that. Okay. Now, for inside the waistband, you also have models like this. And again, you need to be very particular, very aware of what position do you want to carry that holster in, because there's some holsters that are designed like appendix holsters for that specific position, meaning you cannot take an appendix holster and put it in your back, or I mean technically you could, but that means that realistically it may not give you the best experience, right? That's not what they're designed for, right? So this one is specifically here is an inside the waistband holster, meaning it sits inside my pants, and as you can see here, the belt loops actually go outside of it. So this is supposed to sit inside, as this belt loop right here goes outside and attaches to your belt, meaning this whole thing will be hidden inside my pants, and then the gun will go in and you can then cover it with some kind of garment, a t-shirt, an overshirt, whatever the case may be, right? So what I made the comment about specific holsters will fit different environments better. So for example, here in South Florida, Florida's in general, it tends to be hot. You don't tend to wear a lot of layers. So for that specific purpose, we tend to use more holsters that sit deeply concealed. For example, this one, or this one here, that one there, that I show you guys. So the less layers you have, the less layers you have to conceal. So it is very important that you pick the right holster for you, the right size firearm, and too, of course, a larger firearm here, specifically in Florida, will be harder to conceal. If you were to live in an environment that actually, where it gets a lot colder, you can wear more layers, so that way it will be easier for you to maybe have something outside the waistband, and then you can cover with like the jacket, okay? For us here, South Floridians, that's a little bit more of a problematic situation. So we tend not to do that, right? So for my particular preference, it's usually an outside the waistband holster, unless in those few days of cold that we get down here. But in most situations, I carry an inside the waistband holster and either a shirt or I put an undershirt and then a button-up shirt. That's the best way for me to that I figure out throughout the years that is the best way for me to conceal a firearm. And I can conceal a pretty good firearm when it comes to that. I mean, full-size 5-inch barrel 1911s, no problem at all, as you've seen on all the videos that I have posted. Now, what's also important is to find the right holster, because I've seen that during the years, and I have experienced it, to pick the right holster that is right for your weight. Meaning, for example, appendix carry, if you're a guy you're a big guy, and I've been a big guy before, if you're a big guy and you carry that appendix holster, anything you bend over or anything like that, sit in position to spend lots of time sitting, let's say you're a truck driver, right? Those will be more uncomfortable for you. So depending on what you do for a living, how much time you spend sitting and things like that, holster choice will also vary. So it's very important that you guys do this, that you guys, take time to pick the right holster for you. I'm telling you, it's going to make a hell of a difference to have the right holsters versus the wrong holsters. Now, sometimes you have holsters like the one I show you for the 1911, which as I showed on a prior video, you can modify as well. Sometimes things are not comfortable. You can, especially if it's Kydex leather, not so much. The leather requires a breaking period. You gotta actually put the firearm in there, sweat a little bit with it, until it finally becomes This one is pretty new, so as you can see there, leather is pretty rigid, but this one here has many years. You can see it's a lot softer. It doesn't make that creaking leather noise anymore. So it takes time to break, but good things about leather, very comfortable, and then tend to be a lot easier on your firearm finish. So if you have something that is like a 1911, something that has an older finish, like something is blue, rather than Cerakoted or anything like that, this will definitely be a lot easier on that finish, meaning you're not gonna get it scratched and things like that overall over time, right? So a Kydex is perfect. I mean, it's a gorgeous material. It's plastic, but of course, unless like some Safariland holsters and things like that tend to put the leather on the inside to be easier on the firearm, most companies don't do that. So you'll find that with time, usually. Kydex holsters tend to be a little bit hard on your firearm finish. So if you have something very pretty that you love very much and you want to take care of it, maybe Kydex is not the appropriate choice for you. But then going back to your choice of holster for not only the type of body you have, but also the type of clothing you wear, the environment you live in is quite important. So make sure that you choose a holster based on all those conditions. And guys, if you have questions or you want to hear some recommendations, again, based on my experiences, by all means, let me know. We're here for you, and we hope that you enjoy this video. Thank you guys, stay safe, and see you soon.